Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 110 and today we are starting things off on this absolute monstrosity, or should I say, it's not a monstrosity, that's for sure, it's a monstrous. This absolute monstrous build right here. It's my face. If you missed the previous episode of Hermitcraft, you will have missed the creation of my custom Mumbo Jumbo artwork. As you can see, we have built an absolutely massive Mumbo Jumbo face right here, which, well, when put on a map, looks a little bit like this. And I have to say, it looks really, really good. I can't wait to spread these around all over the place, but I have to say, I mean, it's a bit of a mob trap at this point in time. I think we've got to be quite careful. Now that I've managed to escape, and it's also daytime, I'm transporting all the resources, everything like the bed, the crafting bench and everything, and actually I should probably refresh the map before I do that, because as you can see there's a tiny little white spot where the bed and everything used to be, so if we fly over the top of this, that should now all disappear, and we've got a faultless Mumbo face. So I'm going to take that map back to the base, and then we're going to make hundreds upon hundreds of duplicates. Okay, hundreds and hundreds might have been a bit of an exaggeration, but we're going to make lots of them. So let's give this a whirl. I've just taken a look at the wiki, and apparently this is what I should be doing. So I've got 128 empty maps, and then all I'm going to do is this, and that should give me 9 Mumbo maps. Okay. I think we're good. I think we are duplicating them. I'm fairly certain this is how it works. Alright, I'm just gonna plow on through. Yep, I now have 129 of these guys. 129 of them. Fantastic. Alright, let's get, well, a whole bunch of item frames and then we're gonna spam them everywhere. One element of this I hadn't really considered was the fact that, well, we're gonna need a ton of leather. Tons of leather to make this work. So I thought we'd pop inside the cake and check out the dirt hut and just see if there happens to be any in there. There was. We got 10 bits of leather, and the passive mob farm has produced 8 in about maybe 2 or 3 months. So yeah, I think it might be time. I think it might be time to go on just a cow killing session. I mean, I don't think I've ever done that. I'm just gonna fly around killing cows. That sounds like fun, actually. And you know what? I'm all prepared. How about we do this in the form of a bit of a time-lapse? Cow-killing time-lapse. I think this is first for the Hermitcraft series. So, in today's time-lapse chat, I'm going to do something which I've been slightly scared to do for the past couple months or so. So, as you guys know, I said that we were starting up a Discord server, and I was going to chat to people after the Hermitcraft episode released. For some bizarre reason, I didn't think that many people would join. 15,000 people joined. It was mental. I didn't actually have any moderators at the time, which was also mental. So things went a bit crazy, and I had to take the whole thing down. Then we got a team together, we got all the bots sorted, and now the dust has kind of settled. So hopefully, after today's Hermitcraft episode, I'm going to be doing a little chat in the Discord server. There'll be details for it down in the description. I just want to say a massive thank you to Discord for supporting this episode as well. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Hopefully, I should at least be able to see what I'm typing before it goes off the bottom of the screen. We'll have to wait and see. If that doesn't work, then we'll have to think of something else. Now that was successful. We stumbled in to some absolutely incredible areas that were just, it was like I flew over the horizon and there was just a field of cows. That happened like 4 or 5 times. There'd just be massive open areas filled with probably about 50, 60 cows, and I'd go in, I'd massacre them. I even got myself a cow head, and as you can see, we have got over 9 stacks of leather. 9 stacks! I was going in for 2 stacks. I thought that was going to take ages. 9 stacks in total. Right, let's pop on back over to the base. Oh, and the awesome thing is that killing all these cows has repaired my sword and also repaired my elytra as well, which I was about to take off to show you, but then I probably would have died and lost all my stuff. That wouldn't have been perfect. And look what I've just flown into! Oh, that's hilarious. I just came over the horizon and I was like, what on earth? There's Remember Me Bender, and also there is Iskall lying and dying. Oh, that is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. We need to do another one of those. They're so much fun to do. Anyway, that should just about do the trick. So we now have 2 stacks of item frames. And you know what? I want to see what this first one looks like. I don't actually know where to put it. Where should I put the first map? This seems like a good place to start. And there we go. That looks brilliant. Nice. Okay. Let's get one of those on each side. Oh my word, these go everywhere. Okay, let's get them on the entrance to the tunnel, all over the base, everywhere that I can possibly get them. These are fun things to place around, but I have to say, I mean, 128 was... We made quite a few. I've probably placed all the ones that I need to place now, and that's 6. So, after placing a few extras around the base, I've come up with a good use for the remaining ones. I'm sure a certain hermit is going to absolutely love it. Now, as you guys know, one thing that I often do is when I have something like an animal, for example, the things in the aquarium or anything that I need to rename, I will often call it subscribe, just because I like to goof around. I find it hilarious doing some shameless self-promotion on the Hermitcraft server. But one person often calls me out for it, and that is Iskal. So I thought I would just fill up this area here with a whole bunch of these, all telling everyone to subscribe. Yeah, let's see how far we can go with this. Awesome. So it looks like he has got some new, some slightly new wallpaper. Now we've only got 4 left, so I would say just a little bit like that, and then that should just about do the trick. I don't even know if I need to put any signs down. I think it's quite obvious who's done this. And I might just leave it like this so that Iskal's just confused. Oh, as a side note, the head box is now full. We have got, now with the addition of the cow head, we have got 1 full shulker box of mob heads. I should also go mob head collecting again at some point, because that was really, really good fun. This is going to make some of you very, very happy in the Hermitcraft series. You see, when I was building the storage system, I was designing everything, and I was making sure that everything would work. When I was doing all of that, I added a section to the storage system that was going to be for storing precious items. Precious items were going to be stored in this space right here, but as you can probably tell from the lack of redstone out the back, didn't really happen. Nothing happened. I didn't build it because I couldn't work out a way to actually connect it up to the hopper line. But you guys have been letting me know down in the comment section that you are aware of this. I have been getting comments about this. Wow, it must be for it's probably about 90, maybe. Well, how long has it been finished for? Probably about 70 episodes, maybe 80 episodes. People have been telling me that I need to link up the precious items area of the storage system. And today, that is hopefully going to happen. I mean, I'm not 100% certain if we can do it, but I really want to make a good, solid attempt at this. Oh my word, I'm already not liking it. Now, one other thing that some of you may not actually realise is that there is one module of the storage system that doesn't actually function. This stone and cobblestone area that is off in this zone here. Sorry, this is like an absolute spaghetti junction down here. This has never worked. The one next to it works just fine, but this one hasn't. So, we are going to have to try and fix that too. I'll be honest, I've been looking at this thing for quite some time now, and I cannot actually work out what on earth is possibly wrong with it. The item elevators seem to work fine, so I assume it's an issue with the hoppers? But I don't know. Well, that's pretty obvious. I don't know how I didn't notice this. I've just logged in with the second account. There's no redstone torches actually going down through the system, which means that it's just not sorting items at all. It's not even a sorter. Okay, that should fix that then. And as a side note, I think I've found the perfect spot to actually divert our hopper line. So this is the exit of that module. This module is slightly further away, or at least that's the next module going along. So what we can do is we can run a hopper line out and across like this, which hopefully shouldn't run into anything. That will go right the way underneath here. We'll just ignore that redstone block and take out this lava real quick before we die. And then that will pop us out, I do believe, right under the precious items area. Yeah, so we'll just make our way over to here, set up our module, and then have the output hopper line matching up with this one. Nice! Oh my word, we might actually do this! Stage 1 is now in place. We have got all of the droppers and we have all of the hoppers, and I'm starting to remember why exactly I decided I wasn't going to link this thing up. It's because of these dropper systems, which then send the items up into the item elevators. I'm sure we can work with it. I'm sure we can work something out. I mean, how hard can it be? We just move things out of the way. Which is just trying to move them has actually just revealed a huge flaw with the system. This thing is backed up majorly. I'm confused. Right, that thing's now all fixed, and I've also started work on the redstone for this area, but we are going to actually have to clear this space out. So there is a free shulker box, and we have got... Oh, for goodness sake! I know it's only 32 leather, but this is why you don't have just random chests lying around with half-decent items in them. It's never going to end well. My brain is really struggling with this because I'm having to rotate everything by 180 degrees and I'm just using these builds over here as a reference. But I think we're getting somewhere. I think we might be getting somewhere, and I'm fairly certain that this is... Oh no, that doesn't look like it lines up properly at all. No, it didn't. If this thing works first time, it will be an absolute miracle. Like a full-blown miracle. Yeah, it really will be, because it turns out I've actually built this thing on the wrong side. So not only was it off-center, it was also just completely on the opposite end of where it needs to be. And then these comparators are in the wrong place. Yeah, definite 100% miracle. I think this might be it. So, all of the redstone torches are in place. I've made sure that I've done that so we avoid situations that we had going on over there. All of the repeaters are in place. All the redstone torches down there are in. The redstone clocks, the pulse extenders. It's been so long since I've built one of these, I've totally forgotten how to do it. And that is not correct. So I guess we should just see how it goes. I mean, if we just chuck a slab into here... Okay, that's not the noise that was meant to be made, but I imagine that maybe came from the Guardian farm. Let's have a look. I mean, it doesn't look like it's gone anywhere. Where has that gone? Now, amazingly enough, the issue is actually coming from the droppervators. Things are getting stuck in the droppervators. So you can see here, look, if we put a slab in, that noise is the sound of something actually sticking. And I can't work out what on earth is causing that. After spending about 25 minutes looking at this thing, I finally worked it out. I had not put slabs in the corners, which means that the redstone lines were actually powering the droppervators, stopping the items from actually traveling through. Just frustrating. Those sorts of silly mistakes are so frustrating because they just waste so much time. Right, let's try again then. So, we placed the slab inside here and we should hear nothing. Which we didn't. The slab definitely isn't in any of the droppers, which is good. And it should be in our first set of chests. Which it is. Hallelujah, we have got ourselves a precious items chest. It's now going to be sorted in. Okay, let's hook up the hoppers and we can do this. I'll be honest, one thing that I hadn't really thought of is what I'm actually going to fill these chests with. So I thought maybe iron blocks, that will do, and then some iron up at the top. Some lapis. Emeralds, and that's about it. I think we have too many chests, really. Here's the plan. I'm going to chill out for a little bit. I'm going to go AFK overnight, and I'm going to try my best to think about what I can actually put in the precious items section during that time, so when I come back in tomorrow, we can fill it all in. I can't believe I can't think of it. I just can't think of things to fill it with. And you know what? After going AFK overnight and then coming back into the studio, I thought to myself, wouldn't it be a good idea to actually go on a 1-hour mining session so I can gather up all the resources that are required to actually fill in all of the chests that are in the precious items area, so we get more resources and we also fill them up. So that's what I decided to do. And while we do this time-lapse chat, I thought I would actually have a chat to you about the technical aspects of how I make my YouTube videos, because, you know, not a day goes by where I don't get asked, what do I use to record my videos? What editing software do you use to make your videos? How do you make your thumbnails? What microphone do you use? Etc, etc, etc. So I thought I'd run you through everything right now. Hopefully this should answer all of your questions. So, recording software, I use Fraps. Now, Fraps is a very old, probably very outdated program. It's basic, incredibly basic, but all you have to do is hit F9 and that will start recording. And then that's it. You don't have to worry about leveling up microphones and everything like that. You just hit F9, it starts recording, and it will record uncompressed, pretty much, video from your screen, which means the file sizes are enormous. The average Hermitcraft episode, or the average time-lapse, let's say I do a 1 hour time-lapse, it will probably be about 300 gigabytes in size. So you have to be quite careful. Have to be quite careful of that. But that's what I use to record. To edit that footage, I use Premiere Pro, which is a standard Adobe program. You can use pretty much any editing software. I mean, when you're making Minecraft videos, you don't really need to worry about the software that you're using, but I personally like to use Premiere Pro. For the films, I use DaVinci Resolve because it's much better for color grading and everything like that. But we're not going to get into that today. Microphone, I use the Bluebird microphone, and that's hanging from my Rode boom arm. So that's just an arm that sticks up on my desk that hangs the microphone down so that I can actually speak into the microphone. I have a pop filter in front of the microphone which stops the noises coming through. Generally that would come through as like a shock of air into the microphone, but that prevents that. And then I have all of that microphone stuff running into a Scarlett 2i2 preamp, which is essentially an XLR to USB preamp, and it does some funny stuff to the audio. I don't really understand it. I have actually spoken to the guys at Scarlett before, the guys at Focusrite. Really interesting. But I don't really understand anything their products do, but they seem to work well, and it makes the audio sound good. And then in Premiere Pro, I also add a compressor to the audio just to make voices sound better. So hopefully that clears everything up, and hopefully that answers all of the questions, so that I don't have to answer them constantly on Twitter. And that, my friends, is that. We have got ourselves a whole bunch of shulker boxes. First off, I decided I would fill up all of my shulker boxes with the stone and things because we've been running out of that a lot lately. But also we have got these resources. So we've got, I think, around about 4 stacks of redstone ore. Got a whole bunch of coal, which is fantastic because I've been running really low on that. A little bit of lapis, a little bit of gold, and then most importantly, 57 diamond ore. That's mental. I think we might have actually doubled our diamond supplies right there. We'll have to take a look. Yep, this is a pretty decent stack of resources. Nice. Okay, well, I've got my Fortune 3 pickaxe. So now let's work our way down that little pillar that we have there in the base. I'm not going to leave that thing lying around. Yeah, as I was saying, not a bad selection. Tons of coal and tons upon tons of redstone and tons of diamonds. Look, 64 and 61. Ridiculous. Right, I don't actually have enough space in my inventory to actually pick up this shulker box. I think that should do the trick. And now let's finally load up this part of the storage system. And that is this chest all sorted. So we have got all of the items in place. The only ones that we don't have are these 2 chests right here, which are for emeralds. So this chest is going to be for emerald blocks. This one is going to be for regular emeralds. But for the time being, I'm going to leave that villager trading session because it'll be a fairly monstrous one to the next episode. For now, there is just one more thing that I want to be doing today. So, as you guys know, in the last, I guess it was probably like 4 or 5 episodes ago, we made the industrial tree farm, which filled up the final few sections of this farming area, which means that this one's complete, that one over there is complete, but this one over here isn't quite finished just yet. You can see it's still a little bit empty on both sides. So what I thought we'd do is I thought this one could be for the Nether Wart farm. Now this is actually a farm that I hadn't really thought of, to be honest with you. I'd completely forgotten about Nether Wart farms, but I feel like it's something that I want to build, and I feel like it's something that we could come up with a pretty cool design for. So it will fit in this area here, and I'm just trying my best to think how it would actually work. So maybe we'd have stacks of Nether Wart, and then we'd have water which flows down, taking it all out, and then I guess the replanting zone. Okay, so it could face in this direction so that then we could get that diagonal in. This could be almost like the staircase, like the ladders going up, and then you walk out to each one of the platforms. So it would be long platforms going across like this, and then they'd snake upwards like that, and the water would go down, destroying all of the Nether Wart as it goes. Yeah, that makes sense. And we'd have one on both sides, of course. I think that will do the trick. I can't imagine that wouldn't work. I think that's a fully functioning idea. And then of course the next thing is we would need to add another area to the base, which kind of brings me on to a potion brewing room. Now originally I was thinking about building this underneath the floor, somewhere underneath the base, and I probably am going to expand out the base somewhere else, but I've just flown past this area and I think it could be pretty cool. Now, we might actually have to do something slightly different here. We might have to make this a curve and then extend the room back all the way back here and kind of make an underwater chamber. So it would be a massive project, but this is where the potion brewing would go on, because of course having all that nether wart is no use if you don't actually have any potions. So I feel like building a big potion brewing room under here would be pretty cool. I personally would really enjoy doing it. So let me know down in the comment section if that is something you'd like to see. And obviously I'll start work, I think, on the nether wart farm in the next episode of Hermitcraft. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I've got time for today. I hope you've enjoyed this jam-packed episode of Hermitcraft. If you did, please sure to hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.